Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. Have fun.
Thanks,
All
Ashley.
right. I'll
Yeah,
see
of
ya.
course. Thanks, guys.
Bye. See Frank.
Okay.
So cute.
In the background,
Frankie.
Frankie's like, I am in REM.
Hey. He's like
Oh my gosh.
not having it.
So cute.
Little guy.
I love it. Okay, shall we?
Yeah. So it looks like the first, we could just go down the list, honestly. They're kind of all here.
Yeah.
First one was, what was the original spark or inspiration for this video? I feel like that's a question for you, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can answer that. Um, Initially, I was immediately drawn to the first line of the song. I've read this story once or twice, and I was like, okay, what could we do with that line? And then from there, the whole concept was kind of born. I was thinking, are you an author? Are you a journalist? Do you love to read? Like, how do we get something, how do we pass this information in front of your eyes for you to read it? And then what happens after that? And so from there, I just built this kind of office concept, this journalism or newspaper print shop concept. And yeah, that's the main inspiration. And I think I had a lot of fun sourcing props for it. Collecting newspapers was a journey. I posted on Nextdoor, I posted
Oh
on
my gosh.
Facebook. I was like, where do I get a bunch of newspapers? And then I went to like some thrift stores and got some vintage ones too that match more of the time period that
Mhm.
we were aiming for. Even though I don't really think there's like clear shots of those. But at least I was like, if someone decides to zoom in, they're not seeing like a 2025 LA Times newspaper. So
Yes.
yeah,
Indeed.
yeah.
That's, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, oh, we're in the future.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like, for my conscience, I'm just gonna try to find something a little bit more vintage, a little bit more of the time. Yeah,
We love.
yeah, we do.
All right, I'm reading through the other ones. What's one scene or visual you're most proud of and why? I think that's also you.
Mine would be right before the last chorus. I
When I fell,
love, huh?
when I fell into his arms, or like,
Yes, like pretty
yes.
much all of that. So the fall into the arms, the fall onto the bed, into like the feathers, into the papers flying. That's my favorite moment. I feel like it's just we've like we've slowly been reaching this climax, and then all of a sudden, like everyone's walls kind of start breaking down, and we get in this super dreamy land
Yes.
that very much feels like to me like when you're fantasizing about someone, like time stops for lack of better phrase. Um, and I think editing that was really fun because we had like you falling into the bed. We didn't really plan on that shot, but it worked so well in you falling into Evan, then into the bed, and just stitching them all together. I was like, oh my gosh, we have something really, really awesome here. So,
Yay. That's so
yeah.
exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what? Oh, you already talked about that. Ah, I think I can answer this one. The what would
Okay.
you love fans to feel the moment the video ends? I want them to feel like they've watched the movie. I think something that's really important that I wanted to bring into more of my visuals is
Hmm.
the feeling of a story happening. I think something that I feel like has been missing for me is just like that feeling of it not really being a music video, even though it is a music video. Like there's something happening. Like it's not just like random pictures,
Yeah.
random visuals, and like lyrics on a screen. Like it's something's happening and it ties into other things. And I honestly am really excited to toy with the idea of maybe even bringing like recurring characters in and like sort of like, I don't know, in the future just tying everything together and making it almost the EP, like every video in the EP, almost like something that you can watch in succession, like a TV show almost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally.
So yes, I want it to feel like you've watched an episode of something. What does was there a specific memory or personal story that shaped the song's visuals? Yes. I maybe not the visuals, but the memory that shaped the song in general for me was initially I like wrote it about somebody that I had a crush on at the time that it just didn't work out, and that's fine, like whatever.
That's fine.
But the first verse I wrote about my first crush that I ever had on a boy, who was this like kid in my hometown who's still around. I don't even know, he probably won't see this, so that's fine, and his sister knows that it's about him because I accidentally told her once. But yeah, he was just like I notoriously like growing up, and I don't know if this is just like a me thing, but I've always kind of struggled to make friends with boys. I always kind of like connected more with the girly pops. And when I was a kid, I just like had this best friend, and he was just this like little boy, and I loved him so much. And I didn't know why. And then it kind of clicked for me like a little later on in life. I was like, oh, I had a crush on him for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what that was.
There were two of them. There were like two dudes like that, where it was like, oh, that's what that was. And I think it was like reciprocated, like the cute little like kindergarten boyfriend thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I had a kindergarten boyfriend.
I love that
so
much.
Wherever he is.
Shout out.
Shout out Trey. I don't know where he's located, but hope he's doing well.
Maybe he's watching this video. We don't know.
I don't know. I know he's around.
Yes.
Did acting or performing in this video take you out of your comfort zone? Yes, I suck at movement. So I'm really awkward in the way that I move. So Camryn helped me with that a lot, which I appreciated, because I feel like a lot of the time in music videos that I do, I think I just need like more direction than people are used to maybe giving to one person. I don't know if that's like, if I was like different, I don't know. But I feel like when I move, I don't know what to do with my hands and
Sure.
my like anything. I don't know how to move. So that is something that I needed help with. Also the acting, like I did musical theater growing up, but I never did like up close acting. It was a lot of really exaggerated acting. So I'm working on that, but yes.
You crushed on all acting and performance.
I tried.
Yes.
At least we'll get better
You
at it.
really
Like,
did.
hustle. It's just for fun.
Totally.
But okay, now these are for you. I think that's through all the ones that are for me.
Okay.
How did you translate sound into visuals? Where did you start?
Yeah, I think the beginning of the song is a little bit more, well, I listened to the song so many times, but I noticed that the beginning of the song is a little bit more mellow, and then there's a bigger climax at the end.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I want to translate that through Peggy's character's confidence, and just Peggy's approach or relationship with Evan, our love interest.
Indeed.
And so we kind of built Peggy's character to be a little bit more shy, reserved around Evan in the beginning. And then as the song builds, Peggy takes more risks around Evan. And you'll see in the video, but there's some kind of surreal time-stoppy moments where Peggy really like lets go. And then towards the end of the song, we see movement getting a little bit bigger. Time is not so much of a construct anymore. We're definitely in this whimsy, fantasy, surreal dream state. And that's kind of the trajectory of how the song spoke to the video in that way.
I love. Yay.
Yeah.
Whimsy. I like that word.
Whimsy.
Whimsy. Oh, I like this because I know the answer to this a little bit. What references, films, or visual inspiration helped you shape the look of the video?
So after researching and watching all of Peggy's videos, I was like, it feels more on brand to do something maybe a little bit more, well, definitely rom-commy, story narrative driven. And doing something super modern just didn't seem super right for this video. So I was like, let's just put this in the 60s, and it doesn't have to be super on the nose 60s or super campy, but just how we inform wardrobe and the scenery and like the newspapers, just give it a little bit more context. So I decided on that. And then I grew up watching like a lot of old TV sitcoms.
Me too.
And I love Get Smart, and I just love that humor. Um, and the aesthetics. So before shooting the video, I was just watching a lot of Audrey Hepburn movies and revisiting those TV series as well. Just seeing what kind of camera angles were used, how comedy was written, things like that. So that is how that's how that inspo kind of helped shape the whole piece.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Frankie.
Oh, there goes.
You come over here? No. Okay. I think we're coming into the last questions here. Yeah, last one. How do you
Okay.
approach directing artists to make them feel comfortable on camera? So we touched on this a little.
Totally. Yeah. Well, it really helped. Peggy and I and Evan all met up before the shoot, and we got to know each other, and Peggy was super open with me, just telling me about like, what's harder for her on set, what's easy, like what feels good. And typically with artists, like once we're in the space, I always come with options. So if option one doesn't work out, we have a quick option two, especially with movement or yeah, just being prepared on my end if something's not feeling right, not making sense. Um, and then I always reserve time for a little rehearsal before we start shooting. And just talking to everyone about what's going to happen. So I would say rehearsal, and maybe that's the dancer choreographer in me, but I love a rehearsal. Let's try it out first, get the kinks out, and then we'll go for a take. And so I think that's like my favorite way to work with artists, and always keeping the doors of communication wide open. Like, please tell me what is uncomfortable. Please tell me, what is comfy or what you envision for this too. As much
Yeah.
as I am directing, like it is your video, and I want, what you're feeling and see for this also to come through in all the visuals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a true collaboration, which
Yay.
is my favorite.
Yay. Well,
Yes.
I think that's all the questions. Thank you so much for taking the time
Oh my gosh, of
for a couple
course.
before
I'm
this comes
so
out.
excited.
Yay!
Yay.
Enjoy Friends to Lovers, guys, ahead of time. This is
Yeah.
Wednesday we're recording this, but you'll be
Yes.
seeing this on Thursday night. So
Yes.
yay!
Woohoo.
All
Have your
right.
own watch party.
Yeah, literally.
Yep. Amazing.